Hi, I'm Lee Greenwood. Hey, don't touch the dial and don't go anywhere because Profiles will be coming right up.
Welcome to Profiles. I'm Tiffany Walker. Today's guest is Grammy winner and legend in his own time, singer Lee Greenwood. Lee is currently celebrating the release of his 24th album titled Stronger Than Time, which is one more chapter in a career that has become a shining example of the ultimate multi-platinum American success story. After a short break, we'll join our host Mickey Burns as he welcomes singer Lee Greenwood to Profiles. Welcome back to Profiles. In 1983, Lee Greenwood released God Bless the USA, a song that transported him to international superstardom. 20 years after its release, God Bless the USA was voted online by Americans as the most recognized patriotic song in the nation. After 9/11, the song was played so much that it actually skyrocketed back to the top 20 country charts. So let's join our host, Mickey Burns, on location at Ashford and Simpson Sugar Bar in the heart of New York City as he welcomes Grammy winner Lee Greenwood to Profiles.
I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American.
Lee Greenwood, welcome to our show Profiles.
Thank you, Mickey.
Pleasure meeting you today. Of course, for our viewers, singing legend, released 24 albums. That's quite a body of work.
Yeah, I look back on the history of our discography, and I'm like, I try to remember all the songs and all the albums, and they fade a little bit, you know, but you'll remember the hits.
Your new album called Stronger Than Time.
Appropriate.
30
years in recording.
We were listening to it in the office the other day. It's fantastic.
Thank
It's
you.
got like 12 ballads. Most of them are ballads.
A lot of them down songs.
But what I was interested in when I was listening is that your voice has kind of held up and stood the test of time, especially with the fact that you've performed roughly 300 shows per year for many, many years. What do you credit? Is that luck, or what do you credit it to?
It's damn hard work. I mean, the thing is I tell my wife, I tell my manager and my agency, I said, if I cut my yearly work schedule down to about 30 shows, I'm done.
Really?
You know, I prefer, and I work better under the pressure of more shows. I was in Vegas for almost 20 years in the state of Nevada, and I would do 6-8 shows a week and sing in the worst conditions you possibly could sing in. And I think that toughens you. And I think when you begin to relax and not be tough anymore, you lose that same sound that made you popular.
Has your voice ever given you trouble?
You know, you get sick, you know, you have a virus and it'll take you down. And I've sang through it many times. There's only been about 5 times in my whole life I can remember that I had to just say, folks, sorry.
That's unbelievable. In 1983, you released God Bless the USA, transformed your career into, obviously, superstardom, international superstardom. And I know you also wrote that song. When you started writing it, you know, was there a story behind it? What motivated you to write that song?
Well, there's lots of elements. And, of course, when you go into a studio and you record something, you walk out of the studio, it's always a hit. You never record a song that's not a hit. You always believe that it is. You put your heart and soul into it. Sure. It took me a long time to get to the thought process of God Bless USA, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. There was a forerunner in Nevada that was during the Vietnam era, and it was anti-government, it was anti-everything, you know, because like all the rest of the young kids, and I was 22 or 3, we were all speaking out, stop the war, you know, too many getting killed. It's kind of like reflecting of today, you know, and we've got a war on terror. We don't know how long this is going to last. We just passed the Mark 2000 that have died, and it's like, but I'm not a rebel anymore, you know. And when I wrote God Bless the USA, it was a very positive thing. It all came together, but the elements of God Bless the USA are quite different than most people know. The very first line of the song, "If Tomorrow Things Were Gone, I'd Worked for All My Life," was written about my grandfather and my grandmother, who were sharecroppers and farmers, as I was, as they were my guardians. And working on a farm, you kind of get used to the earth and why you treat it with respect. The work that you do, you get rewards from your toils. And my grandparents lost their farm early on because of grain subsidization. And I just saw that just wither away. In the middle of the song, I naturally put, we're proud of the men who died. I mean, our freedom is based upon the fact that, yes, we started out of war. We fought for our independence, and many countries are doing that today, even in the Middle East, where you see Afghanistan and Iraq. Most of those people would want to be independent. It's the dictators that keep them suppressed. In our country, of course, as we become the big nation, it was France and England and a lot of other countries played a very important part, and we had to fight for that independence. So the people who have died along the way, I wanted to address that, and I wanted to make it timeless. And thirdly, and I think more importantly than the other two issues, is that proud to be an American. Which has become the co-title of the song, not meaning for it to be that, but I wanted to say something that made people stand up. And I even said that word. I got these stand up. In a lot of my shows, I first put on stage, that's the first thing you do is everybody stands up. You know? Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't mean that, but go ahead, you know. And but it's proud that who we are as Americans. I'd heard other countries say that. Our heritage is not as far back as all the other countries in Europe and Africa and, you know, and the Orient. They go back before Christ. So when you talk about the United States and its 200 plus years, why are we so proud or why are we not so proud? We've made a few mistakes early on, yes, and it's cost us, but we keep rebuilding. We have a renewing spirit about us. The Americans, a melting pot of people. You know, we have to be proud as a unified spirit, as a unified country, and so proud to be an American and that kind of.
The song also, after 9/11, was reincarnated itself and skyrocketed back into the top 20. Were you surprised about that?
No, and as the roller coaster of history goes, and in Nashville where I recorded the song, the joke is kind of, let's start a war so Green could have another hit. But it was...
we'll get him back on
It was
charts.
first written in '83. It was in 1985 Song of the Year in Nashville, so I was rewarded by my peers. And then, of course, in the Gulf War, General Schwarzkopf took the song into war. It was kind of the spirit, like waving a flag, you know. It's like, and he even told me that in person. And then, of course, when the trade towers hit, we were in between record contracts. I left MCA, went to Capitol Nashville, and recorded 4 albums. They all were hits. A duet album, Holding a Good Hand, turned out to be a very good. And then we recorded The American Patriot. I mean, the reason we did that, my producer Joey Crutchfield and I said, God Bless USA has run its course. Let's go ahead and record the final album that'll be on, which is a patriotic album, and sing all the other songs. We sang God Bless America, America the Beautiful, the national anthem, and all those, you know, things that would represent America's history in a patriotic sense. And USA was on it. Well, when we were struck in 2001 with terrorism, that was the only album not in catalog on the street. And so that album went immediately platinum when people looked for the song that meant today's generation be patriotic. And so, yes, it was almost expected, you know. And as a matter of fact, I was in Los Angeles and I called the mayor of New York, Giuliani, and I said, you know, I'm a country guy, I'm a Nashville, and my song is God Bless USA, and any way I can use it, call me. And they called me right back. We set up the time for the Fireman's Memorial at Yankee Stadium with Bette Midler and Mark Anthony and a few others. And then I also sang the Policeman's Memorial at Carnegie Hall, and they were very moving times. And then the fourth came to the World Series to kind of get New York on its feet.
Together.
Trying to be together.
But however, the biggest difference among all the patriotic songs that I see is that your song is the hardest to sing.
Really?
I think so. I don't know if it's the key that you sing it in, but it's not easy to sing it.
Well, I did recently the NFL opener in Baltimore, and I sang the national anthem, and then I sang my own song. I tend to disagree, and most people who would try to sing the national anthem, you've seen them step on it many times.
Sure.
It is not an easy song, written in the era when they were really influenced by the marches of Europe.
Yeah.
And so the musical tones are spread out of a very wide variety, where God Bless USA is really not. I mean, it's in a shorter range. And words like ain't, which I used as only because I'm from the farmlands of California, and I said, this is the way we talk. And so I think a lot of people relate to it from a blue-collar sense. And you see kids, my 7-year-old, you know, I go down and sing it at his school, and all the 7-year-olds know it.
They know it.
They sing it in school.